Hello, it is Cassie from Rhythm Roots and Faith. I have not done this in a long time, but I am going to be doing a reading for myself and the collective this morning. So if you happen to run across this and you're watching this, it's very likely that there might be some messages in here for you as well. So I got called to use my playing cards that I have that I read with. I haven't used these in a very long time. And then I have this other deck that I actually bought from a woman who is a psychic, and she actually made this deck herself, and she sells it. She's from Baraboo, Wisconsin. So I'm really excited to get into it. It just feels really aligned. And I actually started doing this to help myself. I was an aspiring tarot reader for others, and part of my process was actually to videotape myself doing readings as though I was reading for others, but they were actually also just readings for me. But I had a lot of fun with that, and I don't know, I've just been getting called to get back into it, so we're gonna do it. All right, yay. All right. I'd like to call on my spirit council to please join me here in this time and space. Help me to cleanse and remove any harmful or stagnant energy that exists within and all around me. Clearing any energy that is not my own or not serving my highest good, and transmuting this now, and returning all of my highest and best energy back to me fully, completely, and clearly now. What is it that I most need to hear today for my highest good of harming them? And as always, I thank you so much for your continued guidance, presence, and support in my life. And so it is. All right, we're going to start with the playing cards. I love these. They just have such interesting energy. I found these very randomly at a half-price bookstore. And I had to have them, and I started using them, and it was just crazy to me, the messages that came through with them. So we're gonna see what they have to say today. Only messages for my highest good are welcome in this time and space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do I most need to hear today for my highest good, harming none? I'm hearing the song by Johnny Cash, One Piece at a Time. So I guess they're wanting me to read one card at a time, which is funny because of what this card is that I pulled. Oh, we don't have great lighting here. Let me see if I can. I'll have to take pictures of this. But anyways, this is the Queen of Clubs, which would translate, these do translate to the tarot on a certain level. So this would translate to the Queen of Wands in the traditional tarot. I do get different energy from these, though. It's not just straight tarot energy. So the first thing that I notice when I look at this card is obviously the Queen with her crown. I see the wooden spoons with this sort of rat, I think that's a rat, licking the spoon. And then right in the center of the card is this pie. And so when I heard the song One Piece at a Time, like one piece of the pie at a time. So there's definitely, this sort of cautionary tale against overindulging. And when we're talking about Wands energy, that's like that passion, will, and desire. The go-getter energy, the like wanting to do things and getting things done. So like being careful not to overindulge in the doing, in the actions, in the even like the high emotions. It's like one piece at a time. And so this is funny because it's like almost cautioning to slow down a little bit and be a little bit more present, which is like kind of this message that I've been getting for a while. Anyways, the Queen in in terms of the court cards, the Queen is a very highly feminine energy. And so if we're thinking about this go-getter energy, this is a woman who knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. And like she will not stop at anything to get it. But there's so many delicate intricacies around this matter. She's surrounded by these doilies and she's got this really fancy crown, and it's like it's taken a lot of time to bake this pie, and this pie is very symbolic of it's showing like the heart center, but it's also showing like this world and this life that she is surrounded by. Like it's very intricate. There's many pieces to the puzzle. So that's number one. Let's see what else we've got here. Only messages for my highest bidder. Welcome in this time and space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do I most need to hear today for my highest bidder? Oh, that was it. That was it. No. Three of Hearts. To me, this symbolizes the Three of Cups. So we've got a dart being thrown at this Three of Hearts card. There's many, many holes. You can't see it very clearly on here, but there's many holes. So there's been many shots taken to hit like this sort of target, like this center heart matter. It's like the heart stuff is coming up. Like the heart is the central issue here, one piece at a time. And having taken many shots and now finally getting to like the target, the bullseye, like hitting the bullseye, the center, the core, right? That's what's coming up here. When I think about the hearts and cup energy, so this is like the emotions, it's like we're finally getting to the central heart of the issue, one piece at a time. But it's also a very delicate matter, and there's like a lot of noise around the center here in both of these cards. This doily has many, many, many facets and layers to it. It's almost like this protective labyrinth is like what I see with these. And then here, like having taken many shots, there's many holes around this, right? It took many, many shots to get to the core of the issue here with like, okay, what do you really want? What are you really going after? That actually makes a lot of sense. There it is. That's the piece. The piece of the puzzle, the pie. So like, what do you really want? What do you really want? And how are you going about getting it? And are you taking it one piece at a time? It's like, okay, yes, I have a tendency to kind of go all in and dive all in and maybe not necessarily take all of the pieces and parts into consideration, and or specifically with myself. There's just so many delicate intricacies around each of us. Each of us has such a complex array of personality, of emotions, of desires. The human condition is so complex. So it's like to really get to the heart of the matter, the core, our true core essence. It's like there's all of these things that we have to get through first in order to get there. But it's like the message that's coming through is that I'm arriving there, which is exciting. We're going to go for one more. Let's get one more message here to kind of conclude this, and then I will pull one of these oracle cards too to tie it all together. One more card to kind of tie this message together, one piece at a time, getting to the true heart, the essence, true beingness. What do I really want? How am I really going about it? Another queen. So this is the Queen of Spades. There's a lot of imagery on this card. I see skulls. I see spiders. I see butterflies. I see spider webs. The spades to me symbolizes the swords. There's these numbers, 17, 14. Also looks like I see the word Anne, or the name Anne and dodo. So this is like a dodo bird, which is really funny. I'm going to have to look that up. Like a mythical creature here. Like there's a lot of mythical essence around this queen. So like these intricacies and these matters of the heart and getting to like the core of it, there's like so much in the ethers. It's what's coming through. There's shadow aspects, right? Shadow aspects being integrated with these skulls here, the butterfly symbolizing transformation, the spiders symbolizing like weaving these webs, and like having this creation. And this actually does kind of look like a web around her too. It's like, what are you creating and how are you creating it? That's just as important. The how you're creating it is just as important as the what you're creating, right? So like if we think about a spider and how they build a web, they don't just willy-nilly put strands of fabric together and call it a web. Like there's a very strategic and methodical way in which they weave their webs. There's a pattern, there's a design, and there's a structure and a logical or mathematical even type of pattern to how that's created. Like, and they just instinctually know it. They don't question themselves. They just instinctually know how to create their webs. And the same can be true like so I think about birds and how they build their nests. It's like how the natural world builds its home, depending on whatever species it is. It's very specific to their species, and there's always like a method to the madness. Like birds, they are very resourceful and they will pick up twigs and leaves and grass clippings even, and even I've seen nests with garbage like plastic in them too. Like they'll use literally anything that they can find that they think is a good fit, but they put it all together in such a interesting way that it creates this structure of the nest. So weaving webs in terms of like, it's not just about what you want and how you're going to get it, but it's like how you're going to build it. And like just taking shots, right? We don't really get to where we really want to go. We have to be very slow and methodical in our approach, and also integrate all these intricate pieces of ourselves, to really feel and make a whole home. Anything else with this? Yeah, the strategy comes through too with the sword suit. The sword suit is all about mind, intellect, intuition is very high up there. And so it's like, how are you using your mind to create and weave these webs? And are these webs actually sustainable? Or are you just kind of shooting out threads in whatever direction and seeing if they'll catch? And I think there's a balance between those two as well. I just was remembering, it's so interesting because I did my Wheel of the Year spread and I had 3 queens in my Wheel of the Year spread, and I want to say the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords were 2 of them. I think the Queen of Cups was the other one. So this is a very interesting and symbolic message. Okay, we're going to get a oracle card to close this off. Once again, only messages for the highest good are welcome in this time and space. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Earth element. Earth is a way to ground. When emotions get high, good or bad, it's good to be close to the earth. Hug a tree, plant some flowers, walk barefoot. As you get reconnected to Mother Earth, you will find that your heart calms and you can see the abundant beauty all around you, helping you remember what is truly important in life and that your dreams are still possible. You just got disconnected from the magical powers of creation and your mother. Reconnect today and as often as possible, and it will help you to stay balanced. You are an earth child. I think that's amazing. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. We will see you again soon.